the upcoming midterm elections and the newly drawn congressional lines, tensions are rising in many states over the way these districts have been determined by state legislatures. One example, Georgia's 14th district, which was redrawn to include a greater piece of suburban Atlanta while maintaining a large portion of the state's rural Northwest. As Robert Costa reports, it's caused alarm from some voters about their new representation.
Powder Springs, Georgia, a majority black community north of Atlanta, has long been represented by a black Democrat in Congress, but no more.
They have basically cracked the community strength that we have here. What they've done is take a predominantly African-American area and combined it up with North Georgia, and so to dilute our strength.
Now Powder Springs is set to be part of Georgia's 14th district, represented by Congresswoman Taylor Greene, a Trump ally who has been criticized by Democrats and some Republicans for expressing conspiratorial views. The upheaval was caused by the state's GOP-controlled legislature, which redrew the lines of the state's political map this year, following the census.
We've got to put America first and get this country right back on track.
Greene has said she welcomes the addition to her district.
I'm excited to have them in my district, and we're happy to help, and I hope people give us a call.
Many Democrats say the new maps here and nationwide carved by Republican state houses are unfair.
Their voices will be diluted, their power in this process simply washed away.
The alarm about how redistricting efforts could give the GOP more power extends to Capitol Hill.
I would say they give racial advantage in the guise of giving partisan advantage. They are taking race into account, but not to be fair, not to be inclusive, but to do just the opposite.
House Majority Whip James Clyburn is the highest-ranking black lawmaker in Congress.
What I think is taking place today is the beginning of a process. Where will it end?
But many Republicans disagree and say it's politics at play, not racism.
This congressional map, drawn in back rooms by party bosses in Annapolis, makes a mockery of our democracy.
Democrats are facing their own questions about how they have drawn the lines in blue states.
I think it's a false alarm.
Former New York GOP Congressman John Faso, who has been advising Republicans on redistricting.
They overreached. They attempted to gerrymander the Republican Party out of existence.
For now, anger and apprehension over who is representing who in Washington, just weeks ahead of the midterm elections.
I don't like it because I don't think she'll give us the right representation for all the people. And her demonstrations have showed that she's not for all the people.
There was no logical way that Marjorie Taylor Greene could come into Cobb County unless you gerrymandered the district. You have no choice but to believe that race played a part in it.
Ultimately, the Supreme Court could decide just how far state legislatures can go with redistricting. Later this year, the court will hear a case about how state courts can weigh in about how districts are drawn. For CBS Saturday Morning, Robert Costa, Atlanta.